Okay, I think it's still loading. Well, it says live on Zoom. There we go. Welcome. This is the second community call of the 2020 Inktober Portrait Challenge. My name is Dorian. I'm co-hosting with Kia, and we have a group of you here live with us on Zoom. And I want to start by sharing, as I did on the Discord server, how happy it makes me to see all of you drawing and sharing your posts, your progress. It's so cool. We have 7 prompts from last week, and the last few days we added new prompts for the coming week. And we'll look through some of your drawings from the last days. And what I thought would be good to start with today is to update our calendars. So like where we keep track of when we draw, how much we draw, we can update that and review our intention maybe as well, our goal. Then I would like to go into breakout groups to give you an opportunity to meet your fellow artists and exchange what you have learned, what questions you have, what challenges have come up. Then we have a new segment today, which is called Story Time, and Kia will tell a little bit about her story in life and art, which I think is really touching and inspiring. And I asked her to share a bit about that. And in the end, we have some time to give feedback. And I looked through the work, and I'm not entirely sure how to give feedback because it's so varied. I'm not sure what you need and how I can be useful, but maybe that can become more clear as we share in the breakout groups. So, but your calendar, if you have a calendar already, meaning something like this that I'm holding up to my video feed, then update your calendar, like see which days you have drawn and make a cross on that day saying, yes, I did it. If you didn't draw, just leave that day empty, that's fine. And then review your intention as well and refine it. For me, that's I, Dorian, commit to drawing every other day during the month of October because, and then my reason, because I want to draw better portraits as gifts for people I meet. And I will look at that again and see if I can sharpen that intention or make it more emotionally meaningful to me. And if I can find a better sentence, a better reason, I will add that and replace the other one. For those of you who don't have a calendar, use the next 3 minutes maybe to make a calendar. There's instructions in the first community call that we did, but overall it looks something like this. That's from a sketchbook challenge from last year. So draw a calendar, like a grid, for the next 3 weeks. I think 3 weeks and then the Monday of the 4th week. And decide how many days you want to draw. If you want to draw every day or every other day or once a week, it's all up to you. Like choose a level of commitment. And yeah, I guess that will fill the time. This gives you a way to see how much you're actually drawing, which I think is helpful. So keep an eye on your video feeds to see if everyone is still writing or drawing, to see when we should move on. But I would say 2 minutes, 3 minutes to update and review. And I'm going to take a look at I will update my calendar too. I did not draw every day, but I drew the amount of days that I set out to draw, I think. Even one day more. And Kia, if you have anything to add, feel free.
Yeah, I already updated my calendar, and I drew every day, but I wasn't able to do every day exactly the Inktober challenge, but I had the possibility to catch up because I want to do every single day prompt. But maybe I know that I will be late, so I will accumulate and advance if I can, or I'll be late and try to catch up. So this is my idea. I did the whole week, but I didn't draw today. I drew, but not in the challenge. But it's okay to be a little, how can I say, flexible, I think. So this is me.
For the whole call today will take about an hour, I think.
Okay. So you're all updating your calendar? I show mine is very messy, but yeah, this is my calendar. So yeah. Is there anyone who wants to show their calendar? Also, it's nice we can post our progress in Discord. There's a channel when we post our progress, and yeah, maybe take a photo of our calendar, and if we like to share. Is there anybody who wants to share what they're doing, what you're doing?
Okay, I am done. I'm looking at the video. Looks like most of you are looking up at the screen, so I'll take from that you're also done. So let's move on. Let's go to breakout groups, and I'll give you 2 questions to bring into the groups. First one is, what did you learn this week as you were drawing? And the second is, what challenges did you face throughout the week in the different prompts that we gave you as you were drawing? Maybe with different media you tried. What did you learn trying a different pen, or what challenged you with working with ballpoint pen or with pen and ink? Share about those 2 things. We'll make groups of 3 to 4 people, and I will join a group as well, and the group that I join will go live as well on YouTube, like the recording follows me. I hope that's okay. Just letting you know about that. I'll join a group where I know someone, 1 or 2 people already, so we all feel more comfortable. All the other groups, you are totally private. It's not recorded anywhere. All right, the rooms are open. You can join your group and bring those 2 questions. What did you learn and what challenges did you face? We'll take 15 minutes, 20 minutes, something like that. Kia, are you still here? No, okay. I am going to post the link to Discord. Can I do that? I think that's too messy. If you're watching on YouTube, you can find the Discord link in the comments of the first call. Maybe someone can post it on the current live stream as well. You can join Discord and then join Zoom, and I will put you in a room as well. And Bernhard and Nina, Nina Desktop is not going to join anywhere. And Balta, you're also here, you can join a room. I see Steven is on his own. All right. I'm going to join room 4. Oh, we're the first ones. So it says live here on my end
Yeah.
in Zoom.
Yeah, I also got the voice message that this is being recorded.
Yeah, that usually happens just when I record Zoom. So it's independent from the live stream.
Mm.
That message. Hey, everyone is still in their rooms. That's good. I think that's a good sign.
Mm-hmm.
Even though the timer is there. Okay, here they come. You are all muted by default. So if you want to speak, just remember to unmute yourself. People are still coming back. Welcome back. Let's see. I think we have everyone. Yes. Okay, the rooms are closed. So when I joined the breakout room, the live stream stopped, and on Zoom it says we are still live, but on YouTube it's black and it doesn't say we are live anymore. So I'm not sure what what happened and what will happen, but we're going to carry on, and the recording on Zoom itself is still going. So if the live stream fails, I can just upload that recording. What did you learn from your groups? What would you like to share with in the big group here? Just unmute yourself and speak. It's a small enough group.
I want to say that I'm happy that I asked you to be in a breakout room, because last time I didn't have the possibility, and it's nice to talk with other persons. And in my small group we talked, and it was super cool, and we didn't have enough time. Actually, we could continue. I think we all felt the same, but it was super cool. So if anyone want to share something, yeah, otherwise I always talk.
For me, these groups are some of my favorite part.
Yeah.
In the shading course too, when we go into small groups, we can meet each other, talk a bit more deeply, and it just helps to not do this alone.
Yeah, exactly. And so Dorota, that I didn't see since the shading course, and I met Henry and Erin and Bernard. That was your student, right?
Yes.
Yeah, good.
Oh, there you are. I didn't recognize you. Very cool.
He showed us a self-portrait. Super cool.
Nice.
Good.
Anything else you would like to share? Something that surprised you to hear in the small groups, or something you want to just bring to our attention?
For me, I used to thought that all the wool is on me whenever I feel dejected over my failed artworks, and whenever I see some of my fellow artists post on the social media, and when their artwork looks so great, I feel like I'm not skillful or talented enough to be like them, and after the failed artworks, it worsened my purposes. But when I'm really into such community calls, and after hearing your guys conversations, I come to know that we're all on the same boat. We're just hiding. We're just not showing all our flaws in the social media. Everyone has to start somewhere, and that's really inspiring.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing. And yeah, this is partly why we do this whole challenge, I think, and why we have the calls. I took many courses where I missed an opportunity. I had incredible teachers, and I didn't share my work because I felt like, oh, it's not good enough. But then they never saw my work, which means maybe they thought I'm lazy and I'm not doing anything. But apart from that, it means they don't get to give me any guidance because they don't know what I'm doing. I'm not doing anything for them, for like what they see. And I really regret that for some of the courses I took.
So Dorian, it's like you lose twice that way.
Mm-hmm.
you don't have feedback, and you don't show because you're afraid of.
Yeah, and I let the
you lose
fear
twice.
win. So I lose against the fear, and I feel bad about myself. I feel guilty that I'm afraid, and it's like downward spiral. There's the last couple of months, or maybe a year or so, I've tried to use this way of thinking when I have an obstacle in my life, which is to ask myself, what if the solution to this problem was courage? A meaningful, courageous action. Doesn't matter if it's meeting someone I want to really meet, or posting a drawing, and anything. It's like, of course, it won't solve all the problems, but I find it a really good starting point. What if the solution is a courageous act? Because it gets me thinking, okay, I should probably do this, but I'm really scared of doing it. And then it's just, can I be courageous or not? Yeah, I guess I can, or I can make a small step in the direction. And that's important to build courage in myself. All right. Anything else?
Well, maybe you don't have to be that courageous. I once had a guitar teacher who gave sessions of a week somewhere in Austria. And the last day there was a concert. Everybody was encouraged to go on stage and play something for everybody else. And it turned out nobody had really the courage. So the teacher said to us, well, tell me, if you really produce a complete failure, what is the worst thing that can happen? Well, not much. The hunger in the world won't get worse. There won't be another war and nothing. You just do your thing and it's good or bad, and then you go away and it's like before. No catastrophe.
Yeah. Yeah, I think as a group, we can create an environment where if we were somewhere in person, we could make a stage and everybody could play, like sing a song or play some music, even people who don't play an instrument, just to sit on the stage and make like an experiment and make some sounds. And if the room, like if all the people there are open to that, then nothing can happen. It can be a really good experience to just see what comes out of the moment, if you can allow it. Balta raised his hand.
Oh.
I don't even see, there. Adelante. And you are muted still. We can't hear you. There you go.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
I think these kind of encounters are important for breaking the isolation. Here in my community, I don't have artist fellows, and it's so hard to find someone to share or talk or think about art. And these meetings are so important. These activities, thank you, Dorian, because I can break the isolation and feel better with my work.
Yeah, thank you for being here. You're always
it's my pleasure.
A great contribution.
Yeah, thank you.
Where are you from, Balta?
I'm from Tuxpan, Veracruz, Mexico.
Oh, cool.
In the north of Veracruz and in the Gulf of Mexico. Here we have hate all the year, but it's a beautiful, a gorgeous place to live. We have a river, we have 40 kilometers of beach, a great place to live. Great place to live.
You said heat. Heat. Like it's hot all the time.
Hot.
Yeah.
Yes, hot all the time. We are sweating all the time. But it's a really nice place. And I feel so good for being here. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Henry, would you like to say something?
Yes, we also started summer not too long ago, so the heat, I'm sure it gets very hot there, but we've had an average of about 38 degrees Celsius this week past now. So yeah, the pool has been kind.
Where are you based?
South Africa.
I see.
Yeah.
Around the world.
Yes, I just wanted to say, and that's what's so amazing about this platform. I mean, some of us have, there's not old and young. I always say some people have been around not that long, and other people have been around a little bit longer. And what's amazing about these platforms is stuff like this didn't exist, when I just started out, doing art and everything. So it's a great opportunity, and I also want to say thank you for that. So, yeah.
You're welcome, and thank you. It only exists with people like you also coming and showing up.
And maybe some people are just a bit shy too, because it does take a lot of courage to just so I'm sure it'll be okay as we get to know each other also as time progresses, because I don't know what your plans are in future with the server, but I think it's gonna go on, maybe just in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
So it's nice. Then I think people will be also more involved and talkative.
Yeah, we spoke about that, Hofan, Kia, and me today about people being shy, and that's totally fine. It can take a bit of time.
Okay, yeah.
I was extremely shy growing up. Jelani has raised her hand. Do you have a question as well, or a contribution?
Contribution.
There you go. Go ahead.
Actually, never mind.
You took the first step. That's okay. This is being courageous. That's exactly it. What you're feeling right now, that's it. And there's no pressure. Like, you already raised your hand. I'm sure that took courage. I know the feelings so well. And you can be proud of yourself for doing that. You are more than welcome to continue speaking. And if this is enough for right now, that's also fine. And I'm glad you're here.
All right, so I don't know if I would say that I've learned anything art related this week, but I guess that what I've learned is never mind, it's stupid.
I don't think so. I'm sure it's not stupid. Please share. I'm curious. And this is also, maybe I'll talk for a moment. I've been teaching art since 2008, I think, when I was still a student. And I have a newsletter where I post information for artists, I think way too infrequently. Every couple months I send out a newsletter. And it started as a newsletter called Tips and Tools for Drawing, I think, or Drawing Tips and Tools. And the last couple times when I wrote the newsletter, I felt like, okay, I need to have information here that's useful for people who draw. So art books and maybe new kinds of pencils and things like that. And my mind, my heart, the last couple of years has not been in that topic. It's been in what I call for myself the inner game of art, like the psychological, emotional aspect. Because I've struggled a lot with confidence and like with my feeling I should draw. I've spent so much time and energy and have such good training. Why am I not making more art? And it's been so frustrating. And I've tried to figure this out, and I've done a lot of things. I've had a lot of experiences on that journey to try to befriend myself. I think that's what it's about. And I feel I'm being pulled in that direction with my teaching or my life activities. And I think what you're speaking to is going in that direction. So it makes me really happy. Like I feel like, yes, I'm in the right place right now. Like we're doing the right thing. You speaking up, maybe it's uncomfortable for you, but it feels super aligned for me.
Well, okay, so what I've learned is so whenever you're doing art and you have that feeling that you need to do something exactly like how someone else is doing it,
Mm-hmm.
you shouldn't focus on that. Focus on making an exact copy of what that artist is doing. What you should instead focus on is the progress. The progress is more important than where you end up.
Yeah, and the enjoyment, I think also. Like how you feel when you're doing it. I'm a master at making myself feel miserable while I'm drawing. And I don't want to do that anymore. And it's not just in art that I do that. So I think that's also something I'm learning and working on.
Yeah, it's funny. It's like when you draw confident lines, you're not tracing over the other person's artwork. You're making those lines your own, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like so something that I've struggled with is thinking that in order to draw a character, I have to draw them exactly how the artist drew them line wise. So use the same strokes that they're using, but in reality, I have to capture the proportions of that character.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably just speaking bullshit right now.
I don't think so.
Huh.
No, I mean, if you're talking about making art, I think like real art, that comes from inside, from you, and it's unique. Every person here, they will have their own way. If they can not censor themselves or not pressure themselves to do it like someone else has done it in the past, then we all have our unique voice, like our speaking voice. I think there's a place for doing master studies like we're also doing this week, but that is about really looking deeply into an artist's like life's work. Like, how are they doing what they're doing? What about this do I like? And can I get close to that? But it's not about you kind of forcing yourself to do something perfectly. I think that can be an approach. But for me, more useful is an approach driven by curiosity. Like, what is really going on there? And to understand that, it's helpful to try to get as close as I can get to what they have done with their lines or with it's a great learning format, I think, to do a master study. Master defined by someone whose work you love or find interesting. But if it's about making art, if you draw Batman and you want to draw like the essence of Batman. It will be more truthful if you draw it, whatever, that like following your inner search for what feels right, more than copying someone else who has done that.
Yeah, got that.
If I can say a little thing, is that I don't know if I understand what you're saying, Jelani, but I feel like I had the same feeling. Like we always have expectations, and maybe in life it's not easy to find the right group, the right community, and you need like someone who, because when you said maybe what I'm saying it's stupid, it's something that I felt many times, just like you feel that the other ones, they don't understand, and you feel like, oh, maybe it's me, that I'm not good, or I'm not like I'm not able to do something. But our idea is this think about a community where doing art is express yourself, right? And maybe like Ant was saying, we are on the same journey. And this is something that I learned from a teacher, a yoga teacher, and when I was struggling to do some pose. And she used to say, we are on the same journey. So you are on my journey, and you are on the journey of Dorian, but we are in different positions, and the same journey of Michelangelo too. And it's not a matter about who is better or who is worse. So I hope that you can find, we would like to have this attitude, like everybody is welcome. And because we are all different, but we have something in common, like artists. And for me, it's great to welcome everybody. And even if you feel stupid sometimes, but yeah, it's not because you are not sure, but you are yourself. So you have the right to express yourself with your art. I don't know if I understood this well. But you're welcome, of course.
I don't know what to say.
That's fine.
Yeah, it's okay.
I have one more short story insight, and we're kind of in the story section now. So Kia, I'll ask you to share in a moment, but I want to tell you something else that I am experiencing recently. I felt for many years since I graduated in Florence, 2009, basically. It's like, I'm not making work. Why? Like, I don't want to force myself to make work. That feels stupid. And I've heard about this. There's a way of inquiring that is to ask, like have a dialogue with a part of yourself that is kind of causing a problem. So for me, that's the part of myself that's holding myself back from making art. So I said, okay, like, hello there, part of myself that's holding myself back from making art. I want to understand you better. What do you need, or what do I need to know? And the next thought that occurred to me was, I want to be loved. So I decided to just play this game with myself. Okay, I'm asking a question, and then there's a thought coming back, wherever that comes from. And so I said, okay, I would like to do that, to make you feel loved. How can I do that? And the next thought was, for example, by taking time to make meals and eat. Like I'm eating on my own most of the time when I'm here at home. And usually I go to the kitchen when I'm ready to eat and not when I'm ready to start making the meal. So I make something fast and go back to work. And so this will be a different approach to meal making if I am loving this part of myself. And I thought, if that's the solution, like if I need to make nice meals for myself in order to like open my creative floodgates, to make more artwork because I want to, that would be a win-win. That would be an amazing solution. And I've tried that. So lighting a candle helps. And when I make meals, sometimes I imagine, okay, if a friend was coming by now for dinner, what would I cook? And it completely changes the way I look at the fridge and the things I have available. And then I make a meal that I would make for a friend, but I make it for myself. And I don't know, but somehow the last couple months, I have been making more art than before. It seems to be working. I don't know. It's amazing. And for me, this is about self-love. And yeah, it's something you could try also if you find yourself in a conflict with yourself, to ask that aspect, that part of yourself, what's up? What do you need? What do I need to know? And have imagine a dialogue with yourself in that way. I think some useful things can come out of that. Okay, Kia, can you share a little bit about your last couple years?
Yes, I'll try not to speak too much because it's late.
Yeah, we've done a lot of talking today.
Yeah, we talked a lot. So try to tell me if I talk too much. So yeah, I started to draw recently in the last years, because in 2018, so actually I wanted to study art when I was a little girl, but for several reasons I couldn't. And in 2018, I had something that I didn't expect, an accident. Actually, I had an aneurysm in my brain that broke, and I had a cerebral hemorrhage. And after that, I had 2 brain surgeries.
Cerebral hemorrhage means bleeding in the brain, is that right?
Yes, exactly, because the aneurysm, that's something like a damage of an artery. For me, it was here, close to the cerebellum. It broke, and so you have blood in your head. And I've been lucky because I was in France. I was in the right place at the right moment, and when it broke, I was in front of a doctor. So
wow.
For many, yeah, and also that the doctor, because I started to have headaches for some time, and then I started to do a check, and then I went to the doctor, and in front of her, I heard like a bomb exploding in my head.
Wow.
And she told me, because I did the first exam, and she said, that's why, because life is just a point of view. She told me, you have a brain cancer because you have a spot here. And so for some hours, I thought, okay, this is what is happening to me. But so when they told me you have an aneurysm, you're gonna be operated, I said, oh wow, I'm so lucky, it's just an aneurysm. So I was so happy about this. And yeah, actually I had 2 surgeries, and 2 because the first didn't go so well, and the second went worse because during the second I had a stroke. So I had 1 year very, very difficult, 4 months at the hospital. And I had to, and when I was, because this is maybe something that we talk with Dorian, I've been in reanimation, and I took a lot of morphine because I had a lot of pain. And there was a moment, because with morphine, I had all these weird dreams. And there was a moment that I had a dream about colors and about the drawings. And I saw like I could see things in a different way. So I thought, okay, if I go out of here, I will start to learn to draw, because this was the dream of my life and I couldn't do this. And it took a long time, because for 6 months I had like a patch on one eye, and I couldn't walk, and I couldn't use my hands, and I had to start to learn everything from the beginning. I couldn't even draw my name. So after 1 year I could start, but I had this in mind, and I have a family who supported me, and I am a mom. And so, yes, I started to draw every day. because I check online and I saw an episode of the Draftsman podcast where Marshall Van Draft said that he did gesture drawing for 2 years. And after 2 years, he was like not able to draw a human figure in the wrong way. And so I said, okay, I have to do this. I want to learn this. And I started to draw just 20 minutes a day because I didn't feel well. But little by little, I've been so lucky. And and I, as you said, I had the same feelings like I was in some classes where everybody were so good, much younger than me. So I felt I'm old, I'm not able, I'm so beginner. But for me, it was like a dream. And also, like Dorian said, when you have a block, for me, it was just like a think, okay, you have just this life, you have this time, we are, so why not try? And then you will see, and just try to enjoy. And for me, it was like a therapy also. But it works somehow. So I'm not an expert artist, but I'm learning. I love so much to learn. And also I felt like the whole life I couldn't find, I have many friends and a family, but like about this thing of art, I felt like I was a little weird and I couldn't find the right person to share this passion. And now I'm so happy that I met a lot of people like weird like me somehow. And that's my story.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Dorian.
There are a lot of things I didn't know there.
Yeah. Oh, it's a long story. So it was for 1 year. I couldn't even work. I had to, There were moments that when I was the first months, I didn't know where I watched, because for 6 months, I couldn't even watch a video or read. So it was good for me that I did a lot of meditation before, because I could just stay there and train, but I didn't have enough energies. And the first time that I started to see something on the internet, how to draw, and there was this video about use your shoulder, your arm, and now I can draw, I can do, so I trained a lot. But for me, in that moment, it was like when I closed my eyes, I didn't know where my arm was. And so I said, how can I do this? And so I was looking myself in the mirror and lift my arm, but you can do it. You don't have to believe too much to doctors. This is another point.
Yeah, if you can do it, I think we can do it.
Somehow I had no choice, right? I have just this life. We have just this time. You see, like Kim Yoon-ji. Life is, things happen and you didn't expect. So it's not easy. I mean, I struggle every day for many things, but the idea is like, we have this life and this life is now. So let's live, and then you never know. But I hope it's gonna be long. So I escaped from my end that was written somewhere. But we have this opportunity.
Yeah, it reminds me of Berit Brie on Discord, who at the start of the challenge, she said she really wanted to do it, but then she realized that actually now she has other things that are more important than this challenge, like her family, I think. So for all of you, I want you to participate, of course, but also like this theme of the finitude, the limitation of our life is really present for me too. I spoke with a friend yesterday who I haven't spoken with in 6 months, and his wife just got a diagnosis of cancer and it's not looking good. Like all of a sudden, it can happen anytime. So I think it's good to be aware of that and to make our decisions with like being grounded in the awareness that we don't have infinite amount of time. So choose what matters. And if that means leaving the challenge, go for it. I'm all for that. Okay.
Yeah, and have fun. I mean, you learn
don't
a
take
lot.
things to yourself too seriously.
Yeah, exactly. Not too seriously, because and when you have time, when you have fun, you learn more. Yes, of course, you need the repetition. You need to go out of your comfort zone. But if you have fun, yeah, life it's beautiful.
Yeah. All right. I have here on the schedule as the last point, giving feedback, and I'm still not sure how we will do that. But let's look through, starting with day 1, the one-line portrait. I'm here getting some feedback or background noise. If you can mute yourself, that would be nice. I'm not sure who is coming from. Or Kia, maybe you can hit the button. Not working? Oh, I didn't make you a co-host. You don't have the button, but I have it.
I can't find it.
Now, I think if that worked, everybody's muted. I don't hear the sound anymore, so I think it worked. All right. Balta, I love your drawing here. And there was another one.
Thank you very much.
From you in the Notan topic, I think. And there's so many fun ones here. For me, when I did the one line as a demo last week, it completely turned off my critical mind. Like, this has to be beautiful or has to be right, because you can't. Like, the pen is connected to the paper. It's like I'm just working hard to just keep looking and not completely go off track. And sometimes making drawing harder can actually make it easier. I talk a little bit about that in an article I wrote about memory drawing. You can find it online. It's another way to challenge yourself, where you put a drawing with different shapes in one room and you draw in a different room and you walk back and forth trying to get those same proportions and same shapes, which is hard. But by doing that, it's like lifting weights in the gym. You get stronger. And this skill of actually looking at proportions and seeing them accurately is very helpful in drawing, observational drawing. I'm hearing the background sound again. Maybe it's coming from you, Ant. I see that you are unmuted.
Is it okay now?
I can hear.
Just mute yourself and it will be fine.
And unmute when you want to speak, and keep yourself muted for the other time. I think when we're talking in a group, it's fine. Everybody can stay unmuted. But when we're looking at something like this, where I'm speaking mostly, or me and Kia, it's helpful if it's quiet in the background. This is super cool too. So yeah, in here, I really don't know what feedback to give, because the instructions are very open, but it's just fun to see. So day 2 was inner and outer me, also very open. So you can all scroll through. There are also a lot of fun ones in here. I'm going to move on to day 3, which was Portrait Notan. That's a bit more serious, like a more of a study. We do Notan, simplifying an image into 2 tones, and then the value study, simplifying, organizing the image into 4 or 5 tones. And I thought it was cool to see the same image being drawn by different people. So you can see different solutions to the same image. And doing a value study in a permanent media like pen and ink is tricky. You need to do hatching or use dots. I think all of these things that we figure out to do in one medium, we can bring to another medium after. Like you could do this kind of shading with oil paint or on a mural or anything else. So I think it's all useful. Maybe as I scroll through, if you have a question, like a technical question, or you saw an image and you have a question about what my opinion is about what they did, or if you want feedback on your work, just unmute yourself and let me know. I can bring the image into Photoshop and paint over it or do something like that. Very cool. Beautiful. I wish it was a bit bigger. Maybe we can do this. Yeah, this is another advantage of doing these assignments or prompts in a community. You get, I would not have thought of doing hatching or doing shading by drawing these squiggly circles, but it looks really cool. It's beautiful. I will do that. I will use that in one of my future drawings. It looks fun and it looks visually appealing to me. Melanie, thank you for sharing your work. Nice. This probably is a bit further, like more developed than a pure value study, but it works well as a drawing. Might be the glare from the photograph, but let's see it up close. Yeah, I'm wondering why this eyebrow is a lighter tone than this eyebrow. And maybe it's a reflection, like from the light. But if Alika, you chose to use a lighter tone, I'll be curious to hear why. And my intuition would be to draw the eyebrows in the same tone for the structure. It might feel a bit more solid and stable. And on the pupil, usually it's nice to bring that darkest dark down into the pupil. Now it looks almost like she is blind, which I doubt she was or is. So bringing the black down here and leaving a gap for the highlight. And this is a trick I use when I draw an eye and I draw iris and pupil. Instead of drawing the pupil like this, I will often draw the pupil like a half moon or a circle like this, because up here, like that suggests that there's a highlight. And you can do the highlight, if you have an eye like this, you could do the highlight up here. Of course, it could be in many places, but you can do it outside of the pupil, or you can do it cutting into the pupil. And I find that cutting into the pupil, it gives usually a more interesting effect. If we zoom out, I like the second one better than the first one. So a way to shorten that, to do that more quickly, is just when you draw the pupil, draw a half moon even if you don't have white to place in the highlight, it will suggest that there is a specular reflection. Did I do this on the same layer? No, there. So see how this eye looks almost like she's blind? Has a grauer Star, I don't know what that is called in English. And when you bring the black down, it feels more like there is a pupil. Same here. And then that dark tone on the eyebrow. Back to Discord. And it's 5:15 here. Let's go the longest to like the half hour. So about 15 minutes more. I'd like to get an overview of what we did this week. And if you have any questions or ways in which I can give feedback that you think are useful, please let me know. Just check the chat for a moment, nothing there. Okay, day 3 was Loomis heads. I find this very useful. I think the better we understand the structure of the skull and the simple mass of the face, the more solid our portrait drawings are going to be. Because this is information, understanding that you can put underneath your drawing, underneath your face, or the face that you're drawing, and it will give stability. And for me, this is something to drill, to just focus on repetition. Do it a lot, do it with presence, of course, be present with your work when you're doing it, and really doing it a lot will strengthen your drawing skills. Adding a value for the shadow for one plane can be really helpful too, to separate the front plane from the side plane and give some volume. The eye band is a nice way to show the three-dimensional volume too. Cool, planar head. Yeah, I want to click into all of them, but it will take too long. Here's some of mine from a long time ago, 2004. I was really struggling with Loomis heads. And I did them with a pen on purpose to show me how bad it really was, how insecure I was with my lines. I struggled, and I kept going, and it got better. Perspective is still not my strong suit, and it's not the thing I focus on most. But I did the 250 box challenge on Draw a Box, which did help a lot. Nice. Yeah, using a subtle tone I like visually. It's quite appealing as a style. And Loomis is super fun to play with. You make a basic Loomis head, and then you can add stuff on top. You can add eyes, you can add hair, and just make heads for imagination. I have hundreds of those. Day 4, let's see, what is day 5? Cartoon or manga. Portraits. Simpsonizing a sergeant. Very cool. Heresy. So fun. This is very cute too, from Daphne. These make me so happy to see. Kia. I want to color this one. I think it's perfect. It needs some color.
I'll do it.
Is Olga here? This really surprised me to see from Olga. It's super cool.
Yeah, I think she's not here. Nina asked something
Okay.
in the chat about the drawing tips. Tips on drawing
Stylized hair with
hair.
inks.
Mhm.
We have a hair challenge coming up next week. I think the coming week, right? Daily prompt.
Yeah, next
Hair
week.
on Thursday.
Yeah.
There's a tutorial video here. I think the key for hair for me is to simplify it, like to go big volumes to smaller ones to smaller ones. Think in like sections of hair, in big sections first, and then subdividing those big sections. And maybe another key is to do an underdrawing in pencil, like just a light drawing that you can erase easily after, but something so when you're drawing in pen on top, you're like redrawing the design that you already have. And then you can focus a bit more of your mental attention on the lines you're creating and less about the design and the perspective. In the beginning, especially. Then when you have more practice, like Kim Jong-gi, you can just draw with a pen because you have experience. I think it's totally fine to do underdrawings. Day 5. Oh, I didn't see this one. Nice. Yeah, I love the mouth and the teeth here. So often, what we don't draw makes a drawing interesting or beautiful as well. I don't know your name, Ninja C. Yeah, good choice. I think if we had all of the upper lip information, there would be too much. It would be too busy up there. In this way, it looks like the teeth are bright, are light. The light reflected back from the teeth is washing out the distinction between the lips and the teeth. Great choice, I think. Cool. Nice. Yeah, paper. Steve wrote here that he should use better paper. It's definitely a factor and a good lesson learned. I love this one too from Hofan, drawing herself as a child in the style of Marianne Satrapi. Day 6, anime eyes. A lot of people seem to have liked this prompt. It's a fun one. I have a page of eyes that I haven't posted yet. Also, well, here, I'm gonna take a picture after this session. And I think with Hofan and Kia this morning we were talking about how drawing stylized eyes like this can be really helpful when drawing, or was it at the start of this session? When drawing realistic portraits. It was in the breakout group. There's so much design in these eyes. It's like, how do you simplify the complex shapes of an eye? How do you use simple marks, simple shapes? I think the more experience and awareness we have of that simplification and stylization, the more we can bring that design part of our brains into a drawing that's even realistic. Like, it will be subtly shaping the marks you make and the decisions you make to make your drawing more clear and more, give it your unique voice. Nice. There's a distinction between drawing just one eye and drawing both. When you draw both eyes, there's also the perspective that you can play with. Like, what's the tilt, the orientation of the head of these two eyes? when you have only one eye, you can just focus purely on the design of that eye. Crying eyes. I don't know if I've ever drawn crying eyes. That's something I would like to practice too. So much good stuff. Day 7, master study with Kim Jung-gi. Rest in peace. Nice, Kia. So many shapes. I think you got the style really well. He lets things be rough, and you've done that too. Very cool. Day 8 is today. So our prompt for today is to go out and find people to draw. And I think ideally draw their portrait, but if that, let's say that, like draw their portrait, sketch, it will have to be fast. And I think we have 2 difficulty levels. The beginner level is drawing someone who's static, someone who's sitting down in a library, maybe reading, or in a coffee shop, someone who's not moving much. Try to draw people like that. And more advanced is to draw people who are moving, people who are doing their work, maybe in the cafe, not someone who's sitting with their cappuccino, but the waiter who's moving around all the time. And you can do, like, fill a page of sketches of that one person in different angles and different actions. And we call the Saturday category fun outside the comfort zone. And for many people, drawing in public is a little bit scary. But I've come to really enjoy it, because what we do for a lot of people is magic. We take a piece of paper and we take a stick that makes smudges, and we create an image of something on that paper. It's a magical thing to do. And usually people are really happy to see that we've drawn them or that we draw someone else. I think it brings joy to people. It's like someone playing guitar in the subway station or in a plaza outdoors. Okay. Any questions or like feedback, suggestions before we close? Or any other comments or questions? Nina, your hand is raised. Is that from before?
Yes, sorry.
No worries. I'm going to take a look at YouTube. I think our live stream crashed. And there's nothing in the chat. Okay, that is fine.
Thank you, Dorian. Just say thank you for keeping this community alive. Great effort, and thank you very much.
My pleasure. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens after the challenge is done. I will be traveling for the month of November, and I'll be mostly offline. But the server will stay open. And I don't know if Hofan and Kia, maybe you'll need a break after this too. It's quite intense, the organizing job. But maybe someone else wants to take over and host another challenge, or yeah, it's totally open. This is a space for us. Like, we can make it whatever we want it to be.
We will make a mess without you.
Good.
You will
Go
have a
for it.
surprise when you come back from Japan.
That's fine.
So everybody, let's think about something, a surprise for Dorian.
What mess we can or you can make.
Something about drawing, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, it really makes me super happy to see all of your contributions. Oh,
Yeah.
hey, there's one. I don't know what we decided finally in the end about the study buddies.
This is something that Hofan had the idea and wanted to talk. Yeah, to start. So
to have a way to form little groups where you can support each other. Maybe 3 people, 4 or 5 people, to say, hey, let's meet once a week, or like we're all in Germany, or we're all in Spain, or the same time zone.
Or maybe not.
Yeah, maybe not.
And draw together.
Yeah.
And share ideas.
On Discord, we can make channels where you can join and share your microphone. And if you want, share your video. And if you want, share your screen. Like as much or as little as in these groups people want to. And I think it should be organized among yourself, because if we have to like match people up, that's a lot of work.
Yeah, actually, we decided to create a first meeting, me and Hofan and another person, and anybody who wants to join our meeting, we can, like today, we can draw together. And then the idea is to create other groups, like everybody can create another group. But if you want to, so you're welcome to join our meeting just to have, to try and start to draw together. It would be nice.
Let me make it right now. So there's a study buddy section. And right now, live will make a voice channel.
So wait.
What did we decide to call it? Draw Together.
Draw Together, we said.
We can change the name if any of you have a better title. So that exists now. You can go there right now or after this call.
Study buddies.
And if you click in there, like I am now there. How do I? There. And I can share my camera. Oh, interesting. This is the other camera. And Bernhard is joining. And you can have a chat, I think, on the top right.
Yeah, I have another camera too. Here.
On the top right, click chat. And then you can chat in here too. And you can just chat, or you can put on, like, talk on the audio or talk on the video, whatever you prefer.
And we can share screen, right?
You can share your screen also down here, which I'm not going to do now because I'm like already doubly sharing my screen and my camera. And to get out of it, just click disconnect, and then you leave that study buddy draw together room. And we make a text chat. So there are 2 channels. One is just for text. You can write like, hey, I would like to join too. What time works for you? Whatever organization, talk. And then this is the actual room where you can meet. If nobody uses it in the next 2 weeks, we can delete it again. We can rename it. We can add channels. It's all like whatever we need. But it is there now for anyone who wants to use it. And Hofan and Kia will host at least one draw together session. Good, that was a lot. Thank you for coming and for sticking around and for sharing openly. We'll be here again next Saturday. Have a good week.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Discord.
Thank you.
See you.
Nice to see you, all of you.
Good. You too. Bye.
Bye-bye.